I'll start with a quick review for this book, The Tyranny of Merit. It was definitely an interesting book. I loved the idea of the book about how immoral merit can be. Mostly a philosophical book, so if you're not a big fan, I would not recommend. I did like the fact that he also analyzes current events from the past few, I would say, 5 years. A lot of that. I love a good analysis, I would say. I'm going to give this book 4 out of 5. I think there is good information, good writing, good information again, and well written. I think it was well written. Some parts were a little convoluted, but overall, I liked the arguments he made. Didn't agree with all of them, but it's an interesting read. I think one thing he missed in the book is offer an alternative. So he says like merit is a problem, but I don't think he offered satisfying alternatives. But he definitely exposed some of the weaknesses of merit, the merit system. Let's see the notes. Merit is being gamed by preparing kids for tests or bribing influencers. That's one way how merit is being gamed. Meritocracy raises some serious moral questions because what happened if you can't or you didn't succeed? What happened to those who didn't have the merit or don't have the merit? What happened to them? They're not worthy. So there's some moral issues here. Much of the politics today is between college educated to the non-educated. There's much differences between that. It keep changing between the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, who represent the non-educated, but it's definitely between those two groups. Meritocracy is built on the premise that anyone can do anything. And if you don't do something, it's because you didn't want to do it. But that's the wrong premise, because not everyone can do the same, and not everyone have the same environment that allows them to do the same. The tyranny of merit is blaming those who didn't succeed because they ostensibly could. That's part of the tyranny part of the merit, is blaming them, blaming people who didn't succeed, saying that you could succeed, you just didn't, and while disregarding the fact that not everyone could. The words, the right side of history, has become very popular among politicians, citing why this is the right thing to do and such and such. The phrase to no fault of their own has been used more by politicians. They're using this phrase to no fault of their own. It's being more widely used. People in the US believe more in upward mobility in comparison to the EU. It's an interesting statistics. Credentials are being used as a way to attest for someone's character. And if you don't have one, it could be a bad sign, or is a bad sign in our current society. Only 1 in 3 Americans graduated from a 4-year university. I thought it's higher than that. It's another interesting statistics. Only a third of the U.S. adults are educated, basically, with a 4-year degree. Only a tiny percent of politicians don't have a college degree, while about 2/3 of the population don't have one. So most politicians are college educated, while, as we've seen, 2/3 of the population are not educated. The Democratic Party used to be the party of the non-educated. Now it's flipped away. Not exactly, but more. Now the Republican Party have more of the non-educated. Side note, the book offers contemporary political analysis of recent events and good analysis. Quote, I believe in science has become a rallying point for Democrats. That's an interesting another point. Being poor in a meritocracy is worse than being poor in an aristocracy. Because what happened is in a meritocracy, if you're poor, you can only blame yourself, while in an aristocracy you can blame the aristocrats. So being poor in a meritocracy is worse. Merit is more a consequence of luck than virtue or anything else. There's a lot of luck involved in being or having merit. For example, he brings the example of a basketball player, a very successful basketball player. A part of being lucky is that he has this height, he's in shape, he grew up in a family that supports this and things like that, but also grew up in a society that appreciate those skills in the first place. So it's a lot of luck involved. Universities has developed to change the system from aristocracy to meritocracy. That's the whole idea of a university. In the first place, I mean. The rich tend to have higher SAT scores as tutoring and other forms of help are being used. So that's, again, not necessarily merit. The fact that you can prepare better for it, it's not necessarily merit. Alumni, rich, and athletes receive better terms in applying. Next one, a lottery system would function as good as committees. So he says that committees are not very beneficial, and a lottery system between all those who are how would you say, all those who are supposed to get accepted, all those who satisfy the requirements should be lottery, and that would be better. Next one policy proposes paying workers additional government supplemental hourly wage. So in addition, instead of giving them given unemployment, and the policy proposes paying extra money from the government to those who work hourly. Some parts of the financial sector are not adding social value and should be taxed accordingly. So a lot of the financial industry, there's a lot of things that they're doing that are not helping society and should be taxed accordingly. It's not that it should be closed, but they should be taxed higher because they're not adding any value. They're just pure speculating. That's it for the notes. It's an interesting read. It's a little long, but worth it. Again, I don't fully agree with all the premises and ideas, but definitely raises some questionable things about the meritocracy system we have. Thank you.